What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I want to share with you exactly how I was able to go from $10,000 a month all the way up to $120,000 a month, really in under 2 years. Call it 2.5 if you want. That's what the haters will say, but honestly, in a relative short period of time, I was pretty much able to increase my business from doing one deal, two deals a month, all the way up to 10, 12, heck, even 14 deals a month. And pretty average it out comes down to like 10 or 12, I think. So pretty much I was able to scale like that in a very short period of time, really following to 5 key principles. And those are the key principles I want to share with you guys today and really show you so you can see exactly how I was able to scale my business pretty quick and how you can do the same thing. And yes, when I say pretty quick, 2 to 3 years is actually a very fast turnaround time to go from 10K a month to 120K a month, right? And there was a lot of hassle. There was a lot of struggle with that. And there was a lot of learning I had to do as a person, as an entrepreneur, and really for everything, right? So that's what I want to do today. What I really want to do, guys, is really break down how I was able to do it. And most importantly, so you guys can know how you would do it differently in 2023. So that's what I want to do. That's why I'm excited. That's why I'm jacked up, because I'm going to show you guys exactly how you can effectively scale your wholesaling real estate business this year to change your life, guys. So if you're stuck making 5, 6, 7, 8K a month, some people are like, oh my gosh, I wish I had that problem. We'll talk to you guys too. Don't worry. Like at any experience level, I feel like this video is going to help everybody in wholesaling real estate. But for people that are really needing help right now, scaling up their business, or they're stuck just being the one person job, right? This is going to be amazing for you, because there's a lot of stuff I had to learn. There's a lot of stuff that I'm still learning, and there's always growing pains in business, right? Especially growing, becoming an entrepreneur. So that's what I want to do today. That's why I want to share. And I feel like I'm going to help so many people out learn wholesaling real estate even more today, so they become the best versions of themselves and the best wholesaler possible. But you already know. Before you get into it, do me a big favor, guys. Remember, I could probably charge $2,000 for a weekend seminar at some hotel and get you all jacked up. We can play rap music in the background and act like I'm a baller and make you all feel good about yourselves, and charge you all this money and be in the room. You have to be in the rooms. That's where everything's at, right, guys? No, like the information's right here. The rooms are in your mind. That is what the rooms are. You don't have to pay all this money to actually be able to scale. Guys, it's all about your hard work, dedication, and knowing what to do, right? But there are some knowledgeable aspects that these events do teach you that you should probably know in wholesaling real estate. So that's what I want to share today and really help you out become the best wholesaler possible. So before I break it down, because you were saving about $2,000, you were getting in my brain, and you were getting at a weekend seminar just condensed into this. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment below your questions, and we're going to break down exactly everything you need to know about wholesaling real estate when it comes to scaling your business. But hey, like an event, there's usually a DJ, there's usually a hype man. Let's get the hype man for us going. Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Love it, guys. Love to see it. Love to help the people out. And I'm ready to help you guys out today and ready for you to become the best wholesaler possible. Now, I always get people that hop on the live streams or they comment after like, Zach, why do you go live for an hour, 2 hours? Like, why do you go for so long on a live stream? And honestly, everybody knows how a lot of these live streams work. I really share the key point for maybe, the first 30 minutes to an hour, and then I'll do some Q&A on that topic, right? I feel like that's the best way to learn. You learn the information and then you ask questions about what you learned, and then boom, that helps the best, right? And the only thing I can always say, if you're upset at how long I live stream for, right, just watch the first hour, I guess, if you want the information. But the most important part here is, if you guys are going to spend 2 days on an event, mastermind, whatever they call, you already know that one guy presents for an hour, then the other guy comes in, and now another gal does for 2 hours. Then they put you out to a dinner, and it's like 2 days long of information that they could have said probably in an hour or two, right? And that is really what I'm doing today, right? This is literally like going to an event. I hope you guys know, like, I do a presentation, and then there's Q&A after, and then they do it. All the gurus, they got their, oh yeah, I'm talking the mic, I'm on my big stage with my, right? They got their little jacket on, right? Like, guys, I hope you guys know that, like, all that stuff is condensed into one video. Like a whole weekend day is put into one live stream, because, like, I'm just trying to get you guys the most amount of time possible, and that's how you do it. So let's break it down, guys. Let's really get into the nitty gritty of this. So how did I scale from 10K a month to 120K per month, right? It's all about focusing on 5 key fundamental things. And this is something that I think so many wholesalers need to understand and really know. Now, remember, before I get into it, guys, you already know on the bottom right-hand corner, freewholesaling.com, that's my free real estate wholesaling course. If you want to learn wholesaling real estate absolutely for free, that's what I want to do. So the point here, guys, is I'm going to teach today how to really go from making 100K a year about to $1 million a year, right? Or about 120 to 1.4 million a year in revenue, right? That's what I'm going to teach today. Now, if you want to go from 0 to 100K a year, like, that is way harder. I promise you that. Just go to freewholesaling.com. That's really my course, where it's going to teach you really what you got to do to make your first 100K so you can consistently get 10K a month. Now that you're going through freewholesaling.com, now you're at 10K a month. Now we're right back here, and this is what we want to share. So let's break this down, and let's really break down the numbers for me. So, 2 years is about the time, but, like, it's kind of the end of 18 and then the end of 20. I kind of hit that 100K, 120K a month. So I'll just show you some of the numbers of me starting out so you guys can see. 17 years old, I was pretty much at a deal a month. Sometimes I was like a deal every other month. It was about 15, 20K a deal. I was doing very well, right? But, like, if I average it all out at 17 years old and before I graduated high school, about 10K, right? And there's a little bit of 18, then going on into 19. Like, it's not the full average, but, like, if I have to kind of guesstimate to a point, because really, if I do all of 17, it was probably, I think, 9,500, and then 18 was a little higher than what I've showed. But again, I have to put some of the beginning of 18 was still at 10, so it, like, kind of doesn't even out too well. But whenever I figured out cold calling, but about 10K a month. Now at 18, college, cold calling, actually my income went down a little because I was learning cold calling, and then for like a month it was pretty bad, and then it shot back up. Really average about 25K a month, and that was 2 deals. I was doing 40K months at 18, but the problem was that they were not as consistent, right? And it was at least a deal a month, but it wasn't 2. But the deals were pretty high, so it was about 20K a deal here, a couple 15ers, like, it just averaged out to about 15. Now at 19 is kind of when I stopped I obviously I got my degree, right? And I did college online. I was able to take the test online. And so I was still technically in college, and I still graduated at 19, but you just got to understand though, that I kind of went back, started scaling up by myself, then worked with Rick, and then we kind of went together and we started just building it up. So once we started building things up at 18, I was kind of doing everything myself still, kind of still partnering up with Rick when I was 18 years old. And then from there, I was kind of doing everything myself with him. It worked out, but then I started scaling out systems, right? And I could tell you, for most people going solo, like by yourself, no employees, nothing like that, you're probably going to be stuck at the 25K a month. And 25K a month is not something to scoff at, right? I think that's 300 a year, right? A little more than that probably, right? Not 300 a year. For most people, if you do everything yourself, your marketing, your dispo, your acquisitions, everything, right? The follow-ups, you're probably going to be stuck at 25K a month. And guys, that is not something to be scoffing at. That is something that's not bad. That is definitely something that you shouldn't be ashamed of. But I just want you to understand, if you do everything by yourself and you run it kind of like a solo business, you're going to be capped at that money, right? Then you have to start hiring people to do things for you. For example, I could only cold call about 5 hours a day. That's all my energy I had. That's all I could really do. Now, if I had 2 VAs doing 5 hours a day, that's 10 hours a day of cold calling. That just helps scale you up. Like, Elon Musk doesn't make Tesla cars himself, right? He hires people to do that because the economies of scale lets him make actually more money, right? And once you understand that, a lot of things start changing. So at 19 is when I started hiring VAs a lot more. Now, I did have VAs at 18, but they were okay, right? Like they were still good, but they weren't as dialed in as when I was 19 years old. So at 19 is when I started hitting 50K a month. And that's when things started getting going. Now, remember, I had to start splitting this with Rick. So that sucked. I was working more, making more, but I had to split it with him starting at 19 because we paired on the business together. That absolutely sucked, right? Like I did not like that, right? But the problem is I was making the same amount of money, but I was working a lot harder scaling. It's not fun. Why am I doing this? The point is because I was able to do that the next year after that 19, I was able to hit 100K a month. And then you can do the math on doubling at 23 years old and nice try IRS, but I'll give you the 100K a month version for now. But from there, we're pretty much able to double our business every single year since I would say 17 or 18. I think 18, I was able to double every single year from there. So that's all I can tell you on that part. I don't want to give the IRS too much, but I'll tell you pretty much from 20, 100K a month. And then from there, double. Works out pretty well. And I was able to become a millionaire at 20 years old because of this, because of the assets I made at 17, 18, 19 years old that were shooting up. So it worked pretty well for me. I can tell for most people out here that it's not sexy to double your income, but really it's actually I had to work my tail off to do this, but from 10, 25, 50 to 100, right? Like it's a gradual rise to get that. Like a lot of people think you go from 10 to 100K in a year, right? It's very hard to do that because the way I did it is I decided to get rich slow, not get rich fast. When you get rich really fast, there's a lot of issues that can come up, right? There's a lot of things that can happen that can destroy you, right? And because of the panoramic, I like to say, I don't want to using keywords on YouTube, but the that happened. It was a little weird on the business, right? Like things slumped out for like a month or two, and then things started picking up a little more because of the entire landlord situation. But really, I was able to double it from there and keep going. So how was I able to do this, right? This really comes down, in my opinion, to 5 key frameworks and principles that really help me scale out my business. And these are key principles and frameworks I think everybody should use, even if you're doing solo, right? Even if you're trying to make your first 100K, I think these principles can work out. But really, these are the 5 main things I've used and really stuck to these rules to help scale me up to as much money as I probably could ever want, right? So let's kind of break this down. So the first thing I want people to understand is the first the first framework and principle I really focused on was, and this is a really simple one, right? But this is just finding what works and doubling down. And what do I mean by that? When I can focus on what is working in my business and just doubling down on that, I've done way better than I could ever have. So for example, when cough happened, I was figuring everything out and I was like, okay, what has been working this month is the tired landlords. People can't evict their tenants out and it's becoming a really big situation. And we give cash for keys for the tenants there, and the landlords just want to get rid of the property. And we get really good discounts on this. And these are like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 deals. That was working really well. So what we decided was, because we're doing a lot of deals that month doing that, just because we're doing a bunch of testing, I was like, all right, let's just double down on that list. Let's go even harder on it. Let's text, call, and send mail to that list. Okay. We're able to double, triple our profits. Crazy thought to think of, but that's how it works, right? And like, for example, doing probates, like, all right, probate's working. Why don't we just double down on that? And every single time I've done $100,000 deal, most of them happen through the probate list. We just double down on the probates even harder. Guys, it's not that complicated to really look at it. But like when I talk to you guys and I help a lot of people scale up their operations, I'm like, okay, you want to scale up from 10K to 50K. What do we do? All right, show me the last 15 deals you did. And it's always funny because they're all over the board. They're marketing all these type of lists. They're doing all these crazy things. I just ask like, hey, tell me your last 15 deals. And I figure out pretty fast that 90% of their deals come from either 2 lists and 2 zip codes. I'm like, okay. Well, that being said, let's double down on that. And guess what happens? It just skyrockets, right? You just got to do what's working. And it's a very simple concept, but it's a concept a lot of people don't think about, right? They feel like they have to market more and more and more and go crazier and crazier. And that's not honestly the point. The point here is if you actually want to do better in your wholesaling real estate business, you just got to focus on things that are working, right? Ditch the stuff that doesn't work. And this is crazy to say, but like if you're texting pre-foreclosures and you've done it for 6 months and you got any deals and you've done all of them, I'd probably just ditch it. Like, what's the point? Go on something that is working, right? Maybe a code violation, maybe like a water shutoff list, right? Do a list that's actually working and it's actually going to lead you to more success. And the main thing I've always seen, and this has been a huge growth factor for me, especially when it's 19 years old, it's just testing, right? In the wholesaling community, and this was right before I started a YouTube channel, everyone kept talking on these Facebook groups about texting. I'm like, what? You can't text people. You know, how am I going to text 1,000 people? And these like text software companies came out and I started using them. And this was like right when texting was a thing, right? 2018, 2019, late 2018. And I was like, all right, well, let's try it. So 2018, 2019, I just started using these text services and they're like $500 a month for like unlimited texting. And we had a list of all these skip trades for my cold calling. Just boop, 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 just clicking the button to texting like 4,000 or 5,000 a day. And it was insane, right? And the amount of deals we're able to do from that was crazy. Now, texting has definitely been a lot different from back then. I feel like an old man saying that, but because I was able to test this new strategy out, it worked really well. Now let's do another one, right? I did RVMs, and RVMs actually, they did pretty well for us, but like the amount of people getting sued from RVMs in Florida was actually getting really bad, and I had to stop it. That was a testing that didn't really work out too much, right? I've done Facebook ads and I poured a lot of money. I've done a decent amount of deals on it. Like, I mean, not like probably a couple deals off Facebook ads. Nothing, actually, I wouldn't call it decent, but like for the money we spent, you know, we made a profit, but it just wasn't worth it for us. The amount of effort and energy, I've done Facebook ads, PPC, I've done it all. Okay. The only one I haven't really gone too hard in the paint on has been SEO. And I'll admit to you guys, but that's just me and probably maybe try it in the future. Right. But the one thing I've always done was whenever there's a new innovative marketing strategy, I've always tried it, right? I've always tested it out. And I'll tell you probably 15% of them work out, maybe 10. But when the 10% works, it's just a huge new revenue like sleuth. And it makes up for all the losers, right? And that's why, you know, you look at venture capitalists, you know, I think 10, 15% of the winners in their companies they invest in actually end up doing really well. But those ones make all the profit and they actually make more profit than not doing it, right? So I believe a lot of people should be testing. And I think the more you test, the better it is, right? And this is when I did reverse drawing for dollars and I did not even realize how good that was going to be, right? That went crazy. I got really into JVing deals when the YouTube channel got a lot more people on it. And that did very well. So it's just testing things out. And once you can figure out how to test things the right way, your business can grow a lot more. Let's go to principle number 2. Put in the work and time. Now, this is a very simple one, but like when you see me scale up my operations, like you see me scale up my wholesaling businesses, right? It's all about work and time. You know, like obviously I just get 10% better every single month in my operations. And that just adds up, right? And so it compounds. So I think to get 100% of something, I think if you compound in a year, it's like 3 or 4%, whatever that is. But like, I think it's 3%. I think get 3% better every single month over month, compound interest. You double your efficiency, right? So all I basically did was got 2 to 3% better every single month. And what is that? Like 0.5% to 1% better every single week, just figuring that out. And over time, like you don't see it in the short term, but like in the long term, it grows like crazy. So like if I go from year month 6 to month 10, you might not see a crazy shift. But if I look at year 1 to year 4, it's like, whoa, right? And so really just putting in the work and the time. So I have a question for everybody, you know, listen here. But like, do you guys know a doctor, a surgeon, a lawyer that made more money their second year as a doctor or lawyer than in year 15? Like talk to any lawyer or doctor that's 15 years into their practice. 99.99% of them make more money in year 15 than year 2 because they're better at it. They're better, running a doctor's office. They are better at their skill set. They are paid more because their skill set's just a lot more with the experience, right? And that's the same thing. And what I mean by this is you just keep it going crazy, right? It's very interesting. And I think so many wholesalers, they get really confused, right? They think they come out here and they can get everything and make all this money starting out. But like, you look at how most things work, it takes a lot more time, right? And in 13 years in the doctor or attorney game, like, you learn some stuff. You're a lot more efficient. You're a lot more effective with things, right? And you can get paid more. Same thing with wholesaling, right? Like, you're not fundamentally way better, right? Like, you just get 10% better every single month at it, and it just helps you get even more, right? And really, like, I look at this, right? I grinded really hard 18, 19, and that was definitely the thing that probably pushed me the hardest. And my income didn't go up as relative to other things, but because I was able to cold call and just build that acquisition skill set, I was able to help myself hire more people better and more effective because I knew what worked and what didn't. And that's when I hop on, I talk to guys one-on-one, like I tell you what to do. It's because, not because of what I think is going to work, is because what I've known in my experience, the past, in helping hundreds of thousands of people in wholesaling, what's helped all those people. I'm like AI over here. I help another 15, 20 people this month get, their 100th deal. And then I help, 1,000 people get their first deal right in a couple months. And it's like, I learned how to do that. So I'm like, all right, now I know how those people worked in this market. I just get better, right? And after helping hundreds of thousands of people of wholesaling and tens and tens and tens of thousands of people get their first, second, third, fourth, fifth, $100,000, I'm like, okay, I know it works and what I know it doesn't. And it really helps me, tailor to most people, right? And that's the point, guys. It's grinding, it's getting better, it's just becoming more efficient, right? It's like playing FIFA. I like FIFA, right? I like Madden. I like all those sports games. EA, I can't wait for college football, EA Sports. Now they got the whole transfer portal thing. It's gonna be a little weirder. I was a big franchise guy, NCAA 14. But if you ever play any of those games, you figure out pretty fast, right? That, like, is it easier to like win, or is it easier to be a quarterback when your rating is 70 or when your rating is 94? It's like when I'm playing as Teddy Bridgewater or Patrick Mahomes. It's like, which one's going to be easy for me? I'm playing the same game. I'm throwing to the same receiver, but am I going to have more success when my rating goes up or when my rating's down? That's the same thing for wholesaling, right? You can still win a throw or win a game with a 70 rating, but you rather have an 85, 90 because your skill set's going to be better, right? Your accuracy, like, you're just going to get better. And if you can up your rating, 3-4 points a year for 5 years straight, you're going from that 70 to that 90, right? And it's not like regular, football, but like, it just, that's how it works. And I think so many wholesalers think that, like, they have to understand all this stuff, but like, it just, you get rich slow. And that's the point. Principle number 3, this is a huge one, but this was just slowly firing myself and rehiring mini-me clones. And what do I mean by this, right? So the perfect wholesaling business, in my opinion, would be for me, it'd be about 15 me's, 15 to 20, like Zach's. So like, if I just clone myself, like, there's 15 of me's out here. Okay. They look like me, same brain, everything. That would be the perfect business. Okay. Because I would probably have 5 little mini me's cold calling all day, and I'd be happy because I'm a clone, right? I'd have probably people doing texting. I would have 3 of me's just going on appointments all day. I'd have 1 of me doing live streams, right? I'd have me doing videos. I'd probably have 13 different YouTube channels about wholesaling, right? I'd have an acquisitions channel. I'd have all these things, right? I would go out here. I'd be a dispositions agent. I'd probably be at 2 of them. I'd have a mini-me just scraping cash buyers all the time on Facebook groups. I'd have me cold calling cash buyers. I'd have me just renovating all my properties. I'd have me being a realtor. I would have me doing all these things, right? There'd never be one of me being a guru, though. None of those. But like, I would just have mini-me's all over the place because I'm at 100% capacity on everything I do. If I put all of my effort and time on finding cash buyers in let's say, Knoxville, Tennessee, for one virtual market, you better dang with my skill set, I'll be able to do that, right? If I just did acquisitions, I'd just wake up acquisitions. That's it. Oh my gosh. Like, it'd be insane. Right. And unfortunately, that's not the case, right? You can't make a mini-me. It's not possible. I've tried it. Okay. I've tried it. All right. Science is not there yet. I can't clone myself, but hopefully one day we can do that. I think the world would be probably a weirder place if I was able to clone, if people clone themselves. But what the second best thing we can do in business is create mini me's by hiring them. And what does that mean, right? Basically, what that means is I can hire somebody to do a task that just I don't have the time for, and I can get them to about 70 to 75% efficiency. So that means I can hire someone to cold call, and I can really have them be about 70 to 75% of my results. So if I cold call 1,000 probates, I might be able to go out here and hopefully get 25, 30 leads. And that's just me personally, right? So if I'm able to pull 25 leads from 1,000, right? That is about a 2.5% efficiency. Now, if I have a VA do it, they could probably get 18 leads, and I'm losing 7 leads. And that kind of sucks, right? They're 70%. And the problem is, whoever you hire, there's going to be a 70% effective rate. And that's a fallacy, right? I think it's a big fallacy. So what do I mean by this? The best case scenario is hiring an acquisitions person. This is the biggest way you can do it, right? So if I have an acquisitions person and they can, if I go on, let's say 10 deals, 10 appointments, I could probably close 10. All right. Most likely be 9, but like, let's say I'm 100% efficiency, Zach. Okay. If I go on X amount of appointments, let's say 15. Okay. Let's say if I go on 15 appointments, I can close 10 of those deals. Now, if I have, let's say, I close 10 of those deals. Now, if I have an acquisitions person that I train, I actually go hard in the paint with them. They most likely could probably close 70% as well as I can. And that's me training them for like a year or two. And I'm saying that humbly. I've done the math. I've done everything. They could probably close 70% of what I can do, which means that if I can get 10 deals this month as an acquisitions person myself, and I'm running the head cutoff, they could probably get 7 deals. And I got to pay them on top of that. And most wholesalers are like, nope, I'm not going to hire anyone then because I'm losing out on 3 deals. The truth is, yes, that is absolutely true. That's actually a lose out when you're scaling. The thing is, but if I'm able to increase my lead flow and I'm able to do 30 appointments and have 2 acquisitions people and they're both 70% effective, I'm actually going to increase my results from 70% to 140%, which means they're going 30 appointments, not 15, which means they're able to close 14 deals, not 7. So I'm able to go from doing 10 deals by myself to 14 deals with the team. And obviously I pay them very well, but still the economies of scale and me netting income, I actually make way more money doing that, having the acquisitions people. Same thing with VAs. If I'm cold calling probates, let's say I'm able to get 10 leads, now down to 7 leads. But if I'm able to double the amount of probates I'm doing and they can actually spend 5 hours each, I'm going from 5 hours of cold calling to 10 hours of cold calling a day. I'm able to get 14 leads, not 10 leads. And really, once you start looking at that, you're able to be like, wow, I'm actually more effective with less efficient people. And the way you look at it is if you are building a job, and like say you're building a house, all right, you have 4 people who build a house at 100% effectively, right? That means they can build a house. 4 people can build a house probably in, let's say, a year. Now, what if I had 40 people building a house, but they're 70% as good? They could probably build a house in a fourth of the time, though. They're not as good, but that's not the thing, though, right? Like, that's not the problem. The thing is, because there's more people, they can just do worse tasks, but the amount of sheer people doing it makes up for the lack of efficiency with it, right? This isn't painting something where you need only one person, right? You just got to make it replaceable, right? And that's the best way I can really explain it. That's the best way I can really put it. I don't know how to put it a better way than that, but like I can show you one thing really quick, right? So I just want to show you what the structure that you should probably do when you're scaling up to 100K a month. So I'll have it right about right here. All right, let me show you. So let's do it right. Let me get the system for y'all really quick. All right, so this is what it looks like, okay? So we have this on YouTube. We share this at freewholesaling.com, but I want you guys to understand this, that like going from solo to somebody, right? So this manager, So this is our 100K a month wholesaling system guide, okay? Per se, it's more. Oh my gosh. All right, actually, if I can just mute it, I think I'll show it. All right, so this is the 100K a month wholesaling system. So let's just go here, playback speed 0.25. All right. So this is a 100K a month wholesaling system, right? Like you got me on the top, you have a COO, then you have a marketing acquisitions and dispositions department, right? And you're gonna have a VA marketing manager, you're gonna have people doing the cold calling, your SMS, your list pulling, you have an acquisitions manager, you have a dispo agent, right? These are pretty much the key fundamentals to scaling up a wholesaling business, right? And this is what the structure really looks like. Now, you guys have to understand in wholesaling real estate when it comes to scaling up your business that they're not going to be able to do all these things. Like you can't do it all yourself. You're going to have to hire some people for it. But really, when you start hiring people out, you do it slowly. And I think this is the biggest problem people have. Let me know in the comments if you want me to show you how much I pay each person, because that might help you guys out. You know, most gurus don't share how much they pay their people when they're scaling. But let me know in the comments if that's something you guys will think that's kind of cool. If it is, let me know. I'll show you. But we're looking here. So what is the process and who do I hire first when I'm scaling out, right? And I'll show you like really quick in the principles, right? The first person you hire is going to be the marketing. Okay. So we have to look at places where make the most money to least money. Okay. You can figure out pretty quick that you make the most money in your acquisitions. Second's going to be dispositions, and third's going to be marketing. Now, marketing is the most important one, but I can hire somebody for $5, $6, $7, $8 an hour to cold call for me at 70% efficiency. I can't hire an acquisitions manager and be 70% effective off the gate in the first month or two. But for cold calling, I can. So it's a lot easier to do that. Okay. Now, dispositions, a little difficult, but you can hire people that you pay them a lot more, but they actually can. So that's pretty cool, right? And so Jessica wants to know, can we download this diagram somewhere? You can download it at freewholesaling.com. So I tell everyone, freewholesaling.com, or by today, I can upload it. I got to check actually, but all the stuff is at freewholesaling.com. Now you go, the hiring process goes, you hire everyone in marketing first, then you hire dispositions, and then acquisitions, and then hopefully you bring a really good acquisitions agent up to COO, and then you go from there, and then you hire another person. Now, if you want to make more money, get more acquisitions person, more marketing. It's really kind of like, you kind of look at the, like a conveyor belt, right? Like that's the way I sort of look at it, kind of like how Henry Ford did it. If you want to make more cars, let's get more wheels. Let's get more supplies. And really that's leads in this business, right? I want to get more leads. And when you get more leads, then you need more people to actually close on the leads. And then the dispositions, people that sell the leads, right? That's who effectively do it. How do you sell more cars? Make more cars and then have salesmen for those cars, right? Pretty simple, right? And that's the way I really look at the business. So let's kind of break down how much I pay everyone, right? So I think everybody wants to know how much I'm paying everybody. So let's go to pay. So we've changed this a little since this video has been recorded. We've bumped the pay up for everyone a little bit, but that's pretty much going to be pretty standard for our company. But really for most people, I think this is a pretty good pay structure. VA marketing manager, $50 per deal, then $200 a week, about I would say $25 per appointment. I think we bumped up to 30 for the cold callers, but $40 per deal and then $45 an hour. List VA gets a flat $6 an hour. Acquisitions manager, they get about 10% of the deal. And remember, I think a lot of wholesalers, they might want to bump that up to 15. The reason why we keep it at 10 is because our deals are very high. Remember, guys, we want our acquisitions manager doing well, and hopefully they're not watching this, but like we want to make it a six-figure job, right? Like this isn't a job where you're going to make $300K a year probably, right? But you could easily make six figures if you work your butt off. And at 10%, if you work your butt off, you can make six figures. And we're easily doing $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 deals. So we're able to do 10%. That's plenty. Now, if you're making 10K a deal, you might want to bump that up a little more. COO gets 10% of the deal also, but they also get a base. And then dispositions, they get about 8% of the deal. Now, that's for a wholesale assignment fee. Now, that's of the assignment fee because remember, a realtor is going to get 3% of the actual purchase price. And then a cash buyer VA is about $6 an hour and then $20 per qualified cash buyer ready to go. So that is our pay structure. That's sort of how we do it from there. But remember, guys, go to freewholesaling.com. It's all in there. That's where it's at. Now, let's kind of talk about number 4. And this is a big one that I kind of talked about a little bit, just like slightly, but it's true. But this is really focusing on bigger deals versus doing more deals. And this might not be for everybody, but this might be just personally for me. When I was able to focus on making more per deal, making lower offers, having more motivated sellers than doing more volume, I found the more volume game just a lot more stressful. It's a lot more time and just a lot more follow up, right? There's just a lot more time going into this. But if I was able to go from focusing just basically on doing bigger deals, bigger deals, bigger deals from doing more and more and more deals, you actually end up making more money. You got to remember in wholesaling real estate, it's a math equation. It's not how many deals you do. Okay. That's why I feel like a lot of people get misled from gurus. It's not about doing 100 deals in a year. It's like, how much revenue is it, right? Like how much profit? Profit's the most important part. It's the bottom line. It's not how many deals you do. It's how much profit you make. I'd rather do $1 million deal than do, 50, $10,000 deals, right? Because at 50, $10,000 deals, that's going to be, $50, $10,000 deal is going to be $500K. So I'd rather do $1 million deal, right? It's all about the profit at the end of the day. The guy that did 100 deals, 50 deals sounds a lot sexier, right? Because he's doing but no, it's the guy that makes more profit. That's what you should be focusing on more. And then number 5 here, this is a very important one, but this is rigorous training for employees and systems. And this is something that I'm still trying to get better at every single day, but I think I do pretty good at it. But you just got to have rigorous training for your employees in your system. So really what I do is I like to do what I call the 5-5-5 approach for my acquisitions people, where I talk to my acquisitions people and I focus on them. So I'll go with them on the appointment, still me, and I'll close 5 deals in front of the sellers. Still go out here, close deals. But I do it a lot more for training than anything. I'll close these 5 deals legit in front of the acquisitions person so they can see how I do it. Then for 5 of those deals, they'll actually kind of do a partner close with me. Like they'll talk, we'll talk. We're just partners on this deal. I'll have them do a little soft. I'll kind of help them out. There's a situation. We close 5 deals of that. And then the 5 is I go with them, but I'm the silent partner. And then they have to close 5 deals in front of me. And the deals have to be at least $20,000. And so effectively, before they're actually able to do everything by themselves, we are going to be at, so I think it's about, let's say just 20. They would be at least 300K they've seen in closed deals in front of me before I can actually have them actually go out and do stuff myself, because I don't have like 50 acquisitions people, right? It might be 3 at most, but it really teeters at 2. So like I don't, they're pretty much a big bottleneck in my company, and I'd rather be them as efficient as possible. I've had one acquisitions person who's no longer with us at the company. They were at 80% efficiency, but they were a pain in the butt. They always wanted more money. 70-75% is usually what you're going to find. And the last part here, and this is with acquisitions people, okay? As somebody that was 19 years old trying to scale up a company and really get employees, you have to earn their respect. And if they don't get your respect, it's not going to work well, right? And what is that? I earn the respect with skills. So when I train a VA for cold calling, they instantly give me respect because I know what I'm doing. I close deals. All my trainings I give to them are videos and also some Zooms and stuff, but they're all in person. They're all in person videos where I still have videos I train them, not on a nice fancy camera like this, but like it's my phone, just like recording it, like put it right here, and then just me cold calling, right? Like I did a lot on my iPad, not my iPad, my Mac computer, my old Mac computer. It was like a 13 Mac, and I was able to use the FaceTime camera while I was cold calling and just record me cold call and closing deals, things like that. And then I use some of those training videos. They see me actually closing deals. They understand it. My dispo people actually know I close a lot of deals, so they respect me with it. And so I think that's the most important part, in actually knowing what I do and actually having the skills for it. So that's why I tell everyone, if you want to hire a VA, make $100K a year. Because if you try to train a VA how to cold call and you haven't made a cold call ever, how are you going to know if they're screwing up or not? Like, how do you know if it's the list that's the problem or the script that's the problem? You have no idea. You don't know the skip tracing that's the problem, right? There's a lot of variables out here. But if you can know that the training you're giving them and the script and everything they're using is working, it's probably something else in your business that's not working. That's why a lot of people can't scale correctly, because they hear some guy say, oh, you need to hire a VA, don't cold call ever. And then the VA is not doing well, and they blame the VA or they blame the list, and they think that they're perfect and they know everything, and then it doesn't end up very well, right? Guys, that's what I've seen. those are my 5 huge framework and principles for scaling up a wholesaling real estate business from 10K a month all the way up to 100K a month. So if you want to become a millionaire in wholesaling real estate by scaling up your operations in under 2-3 years, these are the key frameworks and principles you have to do. Now, remember, everything I do is at freewholesaling.com. So I do have guides, how much I pay people, who to hire, where to find them. All this stuff is at freewholesaling.com. But let me know, guys, in the comments if you have any questions about this, if you have any thoughts, or how you're able to scale up your operations. And like always, remember, guys, hit that like button and subscribe if you're getting any value from the stuff we're giving. But without further ado, let's do some questions. Let's answer some questions. Let's see how I can help the people out if y'all got any questions for me. But let's break everything down. So what about subject to properties? And so, yeah, you can have a bigger team of subject twos. I'll be honest with you, I don't have this crazy creative finance team. A lot of my creative finance deals are just being rented out by myself. I don't really do anything nuts with them, right? I like lease options, right? I do a lot of this stuff, but like really when you're looking at subject twos, my acquisitions person will have a subject two. And from there, that we'll have the acquisitions person who actually kind of understands a little more. Maybe I have to go and swoop in, but I'll be honest with everybody watching this. Like I don't do 100 subject to deals a year, right? Like I'll do a decent amount. We usually get 1 or 2 creative financing deals a month. And that's just because I like to keep them local rentals. And then I have a property management company that'll go in, help me out with those. But like, I'm not the craziest subject to person just because the market wasn't right for it, right? The market's getting a lot more right for it. So we are focusing a little more on creative financing, but not a crazy scaling team for it, right? But a subject to deal, if you do it right, you can easily make 100, 150K with no money out of your pocket or with like very little money over like the course of 10 or 15 years, right? Like these are insane deals. But yeah, they work out very well. Yep. Scripture at freewholesaling.com. They're all there. So yeah. All right. Let's see what we got. Ronald says, yeah, you can't lay, you're slightly right and slightly wrong at the same time. So Donald says you can't lay this type of cash until you've earned a minimum 300K and then you can scalp your business. I'd say 100K because you start VAs first. They're not 300K, right? VAs are going to be, let's say you pay a VA after everything, $8 an hour. Okay. $8 an hour, 40 hours a week, 52, 16K. And then you're able to do more appointments. That's just one extra deal, right? 6 figures may not seem like a lot, but when you don't have to pay for marketing, yeah, trust me, it's a great one. And I DM Ralph. I gotta look at my DMs. I want to get him on the podcast. He got an insane cool deal that I want to break down with him. So that'd be pretty fun to do. Shout out to Ralph. All right, people want to know how much I was paying them. All right, cool. I'll give you a little guru secret. Gurus do not want to share how much they pay their employees because guess what? Sometimes they have their employees in the mastermind or in the guru video. So they're not going to tell the employee how much they make in front of everyone because it's embarrassing. And usually a lot of people, they underpay their employees. So why I'm telling you how much I pay my employees and nobody else ever shares it because I overpay for my employees on purpose. And I want people to understand that. I would rather overpay somebody and not have to deal with the turnaround of hiring another person because it's an insane mess for me. Because going from, let's say I have 2 acquisitions people to 1, it's very stressful on that acquisitions person and it's not good, right? So I'd rather have very high paid employees that want to stay around for me. And why most wholesaling gurus have constant employee turnaround is because they underpay their employees and they treat them terribly and they know what they're doing. That's the truth. But yeah, they'll go to an event, they'll tell you how to scale up, but they won't tell you because their dispositions person's there, so they'll never share how much they pay them. I think it's always funny though. Daniel says, what kind of music do you listen to, Zach? Kind of get a Waka Flocka vibe. I'll tell you one thing. All right. Let me, I want to share one thing. I don't want to reveal too much, but dude, this made my entire day. All right. I want to give a shout out to Waka Flocka. All right. Look at this. Okay. I'm going to show everybody. All right. Can y'all see it from there? Hold on. If I bring my brightness down. All right. Y'all can see my brightness. All right. Look at this. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my 4 years. All right. This is going to be fun. All right. So these are my DMs. All right. So y'all can see this is my DMs, right? This is my Instagram, right? This is pretty cool, right? This is my Instagram. All right. Y'all can see it's my IG. All right. Look at the top. I have this thing pinned. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Look, you click the top. Look who DM'd me. Look, I click this. Wait, I click this. I scroll down. Waka Flocka DM me. Look at this. So y'all can see. Look at this. Like I click here on a story. Oh, I don't know what I'm seeing here. Bro, look, it's Waka Flocka. He stinking DM me. It blew my mind. Waka Flocka DM me for wholesaling stuff. Bruh. Like, people don't believe me. My friends don't believe me. All right? We love Waka Flocka. Legit. Clicked it. Made my entire day. Made my entire stinking day. All right? So, ever since he did that, I'm going harder on the Waka Flocka. I will not lie. I will not lie, okay? So, he's in the real estate game. So, that's pretty cool. I want to give a shout out to him. And blew my mind. I'll tell you that. All right. It blew my mind. So I thought it was kind of funny. But yeah, since you mentioned Waka Flocka, no hands. All right. We wholesaling with no hands now. All right. Oh man. No, those are legit. I'll tell you, no. I mean, you got some people trying to DM me, but what I could tell you is that most people that DM me, male and female, they're all sending me deals usually. They all got a lot of questions, but those are off my primary of people actually sending me deals. So I keep them there. If y'all ever saw the amount of other people that try to DM me, I got one Netflix guy who keeps DMing me, trying to sell me deals. There's a lot of like little tiny celebrity, not calling them tiny celebrities, but like they like they're on TV shows and stuff. And like they're on Netflix and actors, like they're just trying to buy rentals and they're cash buyers. Pretty cool. But yeah. That made my day doing that though. I was like, whoa. But yeah, let's get them into wholesaling. So, all right, I just wanted to share that. I thought that was hilarious. Dude, the new NCAA game is gonna be lit. I'm telling everybody right now, it's gonna be great. All right. Let's see. Yeah, if you're making 40K a year, 25K a month seems like a dream, but if you keep going at it and you get better, it gets there. All right. No, a lot of the nuggets you come from the lives that you do with the people. Don't sleep on the live. No, I think the best nuggets come from the one-on-ones, and that's why I love doing them. They don't give me any more views. They don't make the lives any better for the content or the YouTube. I just like helping people out, and so usually I just do it privately. Why don't I just do it publicly, man? Right? Like I think for most wholesalers out here, that's probably going to be the best one, right? And so if I got people saying, you know, Zach helped me out, he helped me become a better wholesaler, that'll help you out the most, right? So let's see here. How about them Dolphins? Dolphins do not look good, but you know what? We are still in the playoffs. We're going to beat the Bills, and I'm still very confident. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's do some one-on-one calls. Let's see if I can help the people out. Remember, guys, if you want to hop on and talk to me absolutely for free one-on-one, all you got to do is go to Wholesaling Houses for Real, which is my Facebook group, and we can go on here and help you guys out here. So let's see. So this is Wholesaling Houses for Real, my Facebook group. I just let a bunch of people in. So we're at 80,800 people, which is absolutely insane. That is a stupid amount of people. And I'm grateful for everyone on here. But if you're on the Facebook group, that's all you got to do is just go here. You see me pinned 2 hours ago. Events right there. So just click here. And then when you click here, it's going to show you how to watch here. That's the YouTube channel. But you click here on the StreamYard to hop on and talk to me for free. So hopefully people see this and they know how not to actually go on. So you actually know how to do that, right? And that's how you do it. So without further ado, if you hop on there, you're going to talk to me for free, absolutely for free one-on-one, and I get to help you guys out. So let's start with some people. So hello. Al.
Yeah.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, wow. Yeah, what's up?
What's up? How
This
are you?
I'm good. This is the first time I've ever been on this site.
Awesome. Welcome. What's
I
up? How
finally
can I
figured it
help
out.
you
I'm
out?
an old time. I'm a baby boomer, boomer. So for me to get on this thing was kind of a challenge, but I got on it anyways.
Hey, I mean,
So,
y-
yeah,
I started out as a kid not knowing how to ride a bike. It was new to me. It was a challenge,
yeah,
but
right.
I
Yeah,
had to do it, right?
yeah.
So, congrats,
Yeah.
man. What's up? Thanks for hopping on. How can I help you out?
I didn't ask a question, so I don't know how. Why you? I don't understand this. I'm
We usually
confused.
hop on to ask a question.
Oh, I don't know how I hopped on. I did that. Oh, I see. I did that Showtime thing or whatever it is. Yeah, I got you. Okay. I'm 71 years
Yeah.
old. I've been doing real estate, but kind of. I like you. I've watched a lot of gurus in the past. I don't know, 20 years or whatever. And well, you and your dad are right with me, or I'm right with you. I, Gurus, they tell you so much, and then they want to charge you. I've never been mentored by one. The guy that started me was Carlton Sheets. You know, I got his thing. I don't know, back in the '70s, and I started doing real estate then. And then I started watching guys, the gurus, and I'm so mad now about now their big thing is they want to make everybody a guru. Join my gurus, you know, for $20,000, I can make you a guru. And I'm just, man, I can't believe what they're doing. They got a lot of young people joining them and charging them $10,000, $5,000 for for nothing. You know, they're not doing anything for them. You guys, I love the way you beat them up. I love the way you teach too. It's really good. So I'm
I
glad
appreciate it.
I'm glad I did whatever I did wrong right. I wanted to tell you that.
Awesome.
I have a little trouble. I do have a little trouble with your site, your training site.
Okay.
I keep it's all videos all the time.
Yeah,
I
a lot of
mean,
the training are videos.
yeah, and then if I look for something like you were just talking about, I have trouble finding it.
There's a
You know the way
search
it's
bar on the top right, and they're organized with modules from top
yeah I
to
seen it.
bottom.
Yeah, I seen the modules. I clicked on the modules, but I don't know. I had some problems with it. So,
Okay.
but I'll figure it out. I'll keep playing with it. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'm also a realtor, so I do that too. So
All right.
I love
What
your
market?
dad when he talks about realtors because he's right. He's spot on. He's spot on with them. They got their own little world, you know. But
No, a lot of people get confused with realtors. They act like they're fiduciaries, but I've seen so many real. At the end of the day, realtors care about their commission. I'm not labeling all of them, but a
yeah,
lot they care about their commission. And so when you want to work with them, you got to understand that they do it from a greedier point of view, and it's more about how can you help me versus help the client. And if you can do it
yeah,
from there, you can actually do a lot of deals with them. Unfortunately, that's how the game works there.
yeah. I call it a cult. Being a realtor, you belong to a cult now.
Yeah.
Drink the Kool-Aid. You got to drink all the Kool-Aid.
Oh
But
boy.
I work with some investors, and you know they like me because I know what they're looking for. You know,
Yeah.
70% or 80%, whatever we can get. You know, realtors do not do that. You know, they don't do that. The one thing I'm kind of now you got me. One thing I'm interested in is if I did the foreclosures, okay. Um, well, how would you do that? You'd have to you'd buy the building yourself and then be the end buyer and do it that way.
Yeah, I don't like foreclosures. I just
Oh, you
it's
don't?
too much. No, I like pre-foreclosures.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
pre-foreclosures, you can wholesale them. There's kind of an end date in mind, like, oh my gosh, the auction date is 45 to 60 days away. I
yeah.
gotta sell it or I'm getting rid of the property. And on top of that, I can go with a lot of low equity deals in there where I can do subject twos or lease options.
Yeah,
So
right,
it's always a
right.
win-win.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, hey, I don't want to take up your time. Somebody's got some important questions for you, so I
All right.
appreciate talking to you. It was fun.
All right. Appreciate it. Have a good one, Al.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Appreciate it. I like Al. Al's nice. We love it. Yo,
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
what's up?
Not much. So, I had just a few questions.
Sure.
So on HAR, it gives you like three options for the ARV. Which one do you usually go with?
With the ARV or the sold comp?
I think is it sold comp? Is that what it
So
displays?
are you going on there for the sold comps, or are you going in there for what you think the ARV is?
Oh, okay. I'm going on there for the sold comps,
So
and it displays like three different numbers.
so I'll give you a secret.
Mhm.
They try to mess you up. Just add the lowest and the high and average it, and that's usually very close to what it actually is.
Okay, I kind of used it to double check because I just wanted to make sure that I had done my comps properly. So like we were within the same like a similar range. It was like
Yeah.
above 216 around there, and I was real conservative on my numbers. Even did the max. I used the chart for the repairs. I did the max for like 1,500 square feet. I did 60,000 for ARV, multiplied by 83%, and I got like 135. So I went ahead and offered 120 for the property. And also, it's on a $12,000 square foot lot. So I figured that might be like a little incentive towards my buyers. But I've been kind of speaking to a couple buyers lately, and it seems like I might have overpaid for the property because they're all looking at like 100, 110 that they were looking to buy.
Okay. I mean, the best way to figure out what the thing's worth is by asking the buyer, right? So
Mhm.
if they're all at 100, it might be where it's at. Talk to some more buyers, but unfortunately, I mean, what's the seller at on the deal?
Well, they had wanted 125, but we were able to come to like the number of 120. So it is under contract. So that's what I was going to ask you as well. Like, how do I go about bringing it back where we might have to adjust this? Because what I found out too, as well, speaking to a buyer, was that you can't plot the land. So they even they wanted to do like multifamily units, they wouldn't be able to, or something like that. I think that's what he said.
Okay. I mean, I hate to say this, but cash buyers are king right now. And
Hmm.
they still, even back in 2021, 2022, right? They still controlled the deal.
Hmm.
And obviously, we are in the business of selling contracts. And really, when you look at that's what we're at. We're not in the business of actually going out here and putting property under contract. We're selling contracts. So if somebody's not willing to pay a certain price for the contract, you're gonna have to go to the second highest bid, right?
Right.
So if they're stuck at 100, dude, you're gonna have to bring it down.
Okay. How do you go about like bringing that up to a seller?
So how many buyers have you talked to about this specific
Two,
deal?
two so
Two.
far. Yeah, I just got it on Saturday.
Do one more, and then from there, I'd probably get a reduction just to make sure.
Okay.
Two could be. I've had two just give me way too low. But do
Hmm.
one more and just see. And then if they're still stuck at 100, you're probably gonna have to just say, "Hey, actually, you know what? Let's ask the buyer. Why is the buyer at 100,000? Did you ask them how they came up with that?
Well, he says that like in that area they like to build on they like to focus on like homes within I think like 200 like within like 200,000 something like that, and like just yeah, I couldn't really he couldn't really give like a clear explanation.
What about the other person?
That one I didn't have an explanation of that one as well.
Well,
He just
call them back and just ask them how they came up with it. Because
okay.
I might need to get a reduction from the seller. I just want to know how you came up with that because you're going to ask why I have to get a reduction. And obviously, with you, what's the reason why you couldn't do 125 and you're at this price?
Okay.
And guess what you're going to do? It's going to be a shocker, right? Hey, Mr. Seller, I actually talked to my partner, Jeffrey or whatever his name
Mhm.
is. And he said because of X, Y, Z with the plotting and whatever, the repairs, we're going to have to be at 95,000 on this because of this. Shut up, see what they have to say. Unfortunately, that's how you're going to have to get the reduction. And I hate getting reductions, right? Like you're probably not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. But if the buyers and the market is constituting that it's worth less than what you have it under contract for, and you talk to enough buyers, most likely got to bring it down. I hate it, but I call it like a 50-50 shot that you're going to say yes to that. But you don't really have many other options, dude.
Yeah, I mean you never know unless you ask. So
Yeah, and it's better to be upfront with the seller than try to do it like the day before.
okay. And then my other question was, so I have the potential lead. I had cold called him Then I shot him a text when he didn't answer, and then he responded back. And come to find out, I guess the city had already demolished the home, so all it was land at the moment. And then he said he kind of like just skipped to the beat the small talk, and then he was like, the appraisal has it at 52, and he said he already has the offer for 40. But then I noticed, I think I was looking on List REI, and I seen that I think there was like 9,000 in a lien. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but also as I was speaking to him, he said, but I do have some issues, and I was like, oh, what kind of issues do you have going on? And then I guess I hit him up too late. He's like, hey, I'll give you a call tomorrow, and I'll let you know what's going on. How do you recommend that I go about that one?
I mean, it's a tough. So it was appraised for 50,
52, yeah.
52, and they want 40 for it.
Well, he has the offer for 40, so I'm not sure how much he's entertaining it.
Where are you at on this? What's your MAO?
I that one I'm not really too familiar with land because I know you got to kind of like reverse.
I know.
On land, so I hadn't spoken to a builder that's working in that area yet. I'm not gonna lie.
I would ask the seller why they haven't signed it with the other wholesaler.
Okay.
Why didn't you sign it for 40? Because I'm looking at this. I don't think I can do 40. So I would probably just go with that 40. But like, why didn't you sign it, right? Is he serious? Does he have a proof of funds? Is he ready to buy it quick? Because me and my partner are. But if someone's looking to get way more than what the thing is worth, then go with it. But I mean, if you got a price for 52, you're probably going to have to get 30 to 25.
Okay.
There's no way if it's a price for 52, a wholesaler is going to sell that thing for 42, 43, 44, 44, 45. Right?
Okay.
It's ridiculous. At most, dude, you could probably put it under contract for 25, sell it for 30.
Okay.
All right. I'm thinking conservative too. So most likely the other person's just spitting a number off.
Makes sense.
Do you have a cash buyer for this land?
No, this one I haven't really entertained. I was supposed to speak with him today, so.
Yeah, speak with him and just see why he isn't signed with the other person.
So what if he brings up his issue being the lien, or because like I said, when I looked on the List REI, I saw that it said like there was a lien for like 9,000 and some change on there.
Well, you can't tell me no, there's a lien on it. He's got to tell it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to ask questions to the answer you already know.
Okay.
And so he might bring it up finally there. And if you have a question about the lien, just say, hey, our title company will take care of it. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
All right. Have a great one.
Oh, one more. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
Yes. Your video yesterday when you streamed it, you said wholesaling part-time. You said you would call from like 5 to 10, like 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Was that what you meant?
Yeah, I prefer 2 to 7, but
Okay.
it depends on, for most people, I have a 9 to 5. They might have to do 5 to 10.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd probably say 5 to 9. If you're doing virtual 5 to 10, just do another time code. But let's just say 2 to 7. If you
Okay.
can. That'd be the best one.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
All right. Have a great one.
You too.
All right. Next year we got Reggie.
Yes, sir. What's
What's
going
up?
on, Zach?
I'm
Not
blessed. How are
much.
you?
I'm doing good, doing good. So, I got this property. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm trying to get this property under contract. It's pretty much a prospect. I called on Monday. So the dude is meant to meet with me this weekend. I'm gonna call him tomorrow or in the morning to see what day over the weekend he is available to view the property because he's doesn't live in my area. He moved to a different area. So this property, it's a 7,000 square foot lot with 2 properties on it. It has a 2-story property in the back and a 1-story property in the front. The front property is a 3-1 and the back property is a 2-2. So he said he got an appraised for 150 on it, and I ran a couple of comps for if it was a 3-1, and pretty much 150 is a good number. I can sign it off at that. For after repair value, I think it was a little bit under 200. I think I can't remember, but what would you do on pricing that person on that property? I haven't viewed it yet, so I don't know what condition it's in yet, but since it's 2 properties on one lot, what would you do in that situation?
When was it appraised?
I did not ask that question to the
So that's gonna be
seller.
important. And it was for how much was it priced for again?
150.
150. It depends. Okay, and was this a appraiser or was this the tax
An
assessed?
appraiser here. He said he was an appraiser.
Why do you have an appraiser? That's weird. All right.
I
Let's
don't know.
say with the market now, let's call it 125, 130. Okay.
hmm
What's his motivation?
So he doesn't really sound very motivated, but he's like, okay, if it makes sense, he'll do it. So the property's not in use at all. He's not using it. He's moved out of it, and it's just vacant. It's pretty much. So he doesn't really have any motivation to it, but he is willing to sell it, and he wants to sell it. Pretty much, say it like that. He's like 50-50 on it, but he's not really like, okay, Reggie, I'll do this for you. Just go ahead and do this. I'll sign the contract. He's not really motivated, but he's willing to sell
Okay. I mean, did you ask him
it.
why he's not listing this property with a realtor?
He said he didn't want to do the realtor fees. So
Okay.
if he was to sell it, he was going to sell it on his own.
Well, let him explain that an appraiser isn't going to offer him. So I always play
hmm
stupid. I think you see it from my live cold calls. My property was appraised for 150,000 or whatever stupid price. So what kind of terms did he offer you at 150? No, he did not. He appraised it. Wait, so he offered you 150? No, he didn't offer me 150. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I can appraise my house for $1 million. I can have somebody, it doesn't mean it's worth that, right? It's what someone's willing to offer. So
Yeah.
if no one's willing to offer it, it doesn't matter. I see properties appraised for 200,000 and they sell for 150,000 on the MLS, right? Like appraisals don't mean anything. And I I have a beef with appraisers because they always overdo everything, right?
hmm
And so you look at it and you explain to somebody that, okay, fine. So if you list it on the market and you get 140 for it or 150, whatever it's appraised for, you'd be okay with that, right? Yeah. Well, just understanding since this is cash, you're not paying that 6%. You're not paying the closing fees, right? You're not paying realtors, all this like doc stamps, all like you're saving a bunch of money. And
Yeah.
that being said, our cash offer is going to be a lot different. Now, if you want the most for it, go with the realtor. But remember, a realtor might lock this thing up for 3 months. We have no idea. So you just explain to them there that we're ready to buy it cash, but if you want the most for it, just go with the realtor. But I don't think that's his main issue, right? I've had people wanting an insane amount, and then I go meet them at the property and I lock it up for like 60% of what they wanted it for, right? It's all about just talking to the seller and going from there.
Yeah, that was my whole plan. Cause he works during the morning and afternoon, so you got to catch him in the right time to get him over the phone. So that's why I was going to call him in the morning, since he told me yesterday that over the weekend he doesn't mind coming out, letting me view the property, and we can go from there. So
Perfect.
now, figuring so for on the appraisal, like you said, it may not be worth 150. So that's pretty much on me on the offer. So now, how would you comp this property since it's two houses on one lot? And they're
Um,
not connected neither. It's one driveway goes up to the right to the front property, and then there's a back driveway, and it goes to the back property, and it's a two-story.
are they rentals right now for the guy, or does he just live in one and the one's just sitting there?
They're both vacant. It's just property that he owns and he's trying to sell, or he's willing to sell.
I mean, this is I don't know if this is in your wheelhouse or not, if you know, but do you know if you can split the lot? Do you ask the guy?
No, I don't think you can split it because of the directions of the houses. They're both facing the same way, and the only way you can enter the back house is through the front house. It's a very tight lot. It's a tight but long lot.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You just have to go off of cash flow. How much can each one rent for at the best it can, and use that as a good thing. And then use the 1% rule.
Okay, so the I use Zillow and PropStream to see what the rents were. So I did a little bit of comps on the two-story two, and it can rent from anywhere from 15 to at high 18 a month on it, right? And then the front apartment, or not apartment, but the front home can do 16 to 17 on its rent.
So 1,600,
Yes, sir.
and
16,
the other one is
1700.
at what?
16 to 18.
They both can be at 1,600.
Yes, sir. due to the setup of the property. So since the back house is a 2-2, excuse me, since the back house is a 2-2 and comps around the area within like a less than a quarter of a mile, rents around there are going for a little bit above 1,600, and then for the front apartment or the front house, sorry, it's going for 16 to 17
And what
for the
area is
setup
this?
and comps around it. This is Tarrant County, Forward, Texas.
That's pretty good numbers, man. Like, are you sure he wants to sell? Got a price for 150
He said 150. I called him the
for
next
both?
day, make sure he was, yeah, for both, for the whole property, for the whole lot. So I called him first time. I asked him what he's asking for. He said he got a price for 150, so he's willing to take 150. Next day, I pretended like I forgot what he said, but I had it in my notes that he said 150, and he was stuck on the 150 still. So 150 is his base price. I didn't ask many cash buyer. I only asked one that I have a good relationship with. I said, this is the setup, so and so. I'm going to view it this weekend. I don't know the condition on the inside, but the outside looks like it's going to need some work. At least $5,000 to $10,000 on the outside because the sidings and the one of the property's roof is a little lopsided on one side. So I said, this is what my base offer or my base asking price, which was 235, which was I went for the high number. He said he couldn't
Wait,
really give
what's the
me a
235
that was my asking price, starting off high and
to
see
the
what he
cash
can
buyer?
start to my cash buyer. Yes. So
What did they
he
say?
couldn't. So he couldn't give me a number because he wants to see the inside of the property before he even says anything about it. And I asked him. I said I completely understand that, but would this be in your price range since it's two properties in one lot and they're both facing the same direction? He was at a standstill. He was like, maybe, yes, no. He was very iffy on it because he doesn't know what the inside is, and I don't know what the inside is. I asked the seller about it. He was very hesitant on telling me. I wouldn't say hesitant, but he didn't really know because he hasn't been there in such a long time. So that's why I
Dude,
started off at a high ball number
I mean,
for two
honestly,
properties in one lot.
lock up the deal first and then try to sell it.
Okay.
I mean, if it can rent for 1,600 a month each side, I
Mhm.
even using a 1% rule, I think that works out. But if he says it's a price for 150, he should be able to sell it. He should want you to put under contract for at most 150. So
Yeah. Mhm.
why don't you just offer him? Heck, just try 100.
That's what I was going. I was thinking about 115,
I
120
don't think you're going
starting
to sell it
off.
for 240 though at 100.
No,
But
no, no, not 240. Of course not. That I was just doing a high ball offer and saying, okay, start off high,
you're going to
go
offend a
down from
cash
there.
buyer by doing that, dude.
Oh, okay.
Like no one's going to. You're going to be the boy that cried wolf.
Mm.
Like I don't want to deal with Reggie because he's always doing stupid amounts, right?
Mhm. Understand.
So like figure it out. Try to lock it up for 100, and then try to ask the cash buyer how much would he buy this for. Based off the rents,
Okay.
I was thinking 200, or just try it. Who knows? But you just gotta see. I would probably put it under contract for 100, sell for 150 is my guess because it needs some work. But
Yes.
it's ultimately up to you.
Okay, dokie. So yeah, and then I got a second prospect on it. He's asking 70, but they're wanting to do renovations on it. I said I don't mind. I haven't viewed it yet. I talked to him. Actually, Cole called him today, not too long ago. He said it was his wife and daughter's project, or they're trying to sell it or something. So I'm gonna call them later today, later in the afternoon, and see what the deal is on this property because he couldn't really tell me the condition or anything. So he said they're asking 70, and he couldn't really tell me is that after renovations or before renovations, and if they even did any renovations. So that's the second prospect I got for this week, pretty much. So
All right. Keep it up, dude. You're
yeah.
doing well, man. You're getting some deals, you're getting some lead flow going, and you're getting close, man. You're getting there, dude. So keep it up. Just
Yes, sir.
don't try to over high ball the cash buyers right now. I just
Okay.
don't want you to like because some people get really offended from that, and then you lose out that cash buyer forever.
Because I was the reason I did do that, and you can tell me if this is wrong or not. Like you said, when you go to the seller, don't be. It's going to make you nervous, but feel free to lowball. I did the opposite for the cash buyer highball, pretty much. You don't want to do that with cash buyers or no?
You're going to burn a couple cash buyers doing that. And I don't think this is the market for you to be burning cash buyers.
Okay.
If you're in a highball, ask them how much they're looking to buy it based on cash flow. Are you looking for a 15% cap rate? Like, figure it out. Then do the reverse from there.
All right. See what they're wanting first before I even
because maybe it's higher than you think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. First one to give a number is the one to lose the negotiation. I understand.
All right. Well, you gave the number
thank
first.
you, Zach.
All right. Give it up, bro. Because if it's too high and you give it out, you're screwed. So, yeah, just be careful with
it. All right. Hope to close it by this week, and I'll be back to tomorrow or Friday.
All right. Like it. I like it, man. Keep it up.
Thank you. See you later.
Boom. All righty. Next here we got Phil.
Hey, what is up, Zach?
How are you?
Good, man. So I started going full time back at the beginning of October, and you probably saw my posted check at the end of October for my first deal. It's pretty excited about that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah, and got 3 more locked up in November, and got 2 of them already in escrow, and got the deposits on 1.5 of them. And why are you asking 1.5? Because he wanted to hold some back through escrow, and I get it, because that's one of my questions today. The lady we're dealing with is kind of crazy, but things are going good. I'm working on scaling up my business. My marketer's in place. We're full time. She's just on autopilot every week. She's sending out my marketing, doing my research on my spreadsheet, sending them back to me, and then I'm getting the calls coming in, and I'm getting ready to have an outbound caller just do that full time. And I need a dispositions person so I can focus on getting things locked up and being able to pass it over. So that's what I'm working on right now, is scaling up that business.
Dude, I love it, man. You learn for free, dude. And you didn't really hop on these one-on-ones too much, man. So it's like, I feel bad, man. I feel like I needed to help you even more. So, dude, that's awesome, man. Now you're having the big boy troubles, which is good, right? These are good problems to have. So,
yeah, one of my buddies is it's an EOS consultant, and he came over and he drew up a plan for me. So I'm like, oh crap, I'm going to 10x my business. I'm going to be doing 10 deals a month here as soon as I hire my dispositions person. But so questions I got, I'm doing a lot of probates, and the one deal I closed was a foreclosure. So the probates, as they're going through, I'm learning some of the nuances here. And most of the people I'm talking to, they're like, oh yeah, it looks beautiful. I'm just going to list it with my realtor friend. And so that's what I'm getting a lot of, and just trying to work out how to try to get them off of that. I just actually got off the phone 2 minutes ago with somebody, called me up out of the blue, and I'm going to list it. I'm like, well, you're going to be paying $15,000 to this realtor. What's the lowest you would take on it? And normally I want to go to numbers right away, but she was hitting me with the numbers, and this is what she wanted. So trying to get people off of the whole realtor thing.
Yeah, this is a common one. And this is one that took me 6 years to figure out. You can't force somebody. All right. Like I figured this out pretty fast, that I only want to deal with people that don't want to deal with a realtor. I'm not here to be the person to convince somebody not to go with a realtor, right? Open Door got fined $65 million from the FTC for telling people they shouldn't go with a realtor. They make less money with a realtor, and they start going that route. I don't think that's a good route. I've always made the most money on probates when I sell something. I don't even want this thing. Just list it with a realtor. Now, can you just buy this thing for cash? I just want to get rid of this thing. The probates I do very well on are ugly ones. All ugly. They all need a ton of work, a lot of stress, I just want to get rid of the property for cash. A lot of these probates, I mean, they're older people, right? They're pretty nice houses, right? So I only want to deal with probably 2 to 3% of probates. The other 97%, you can just give them to a realtor. I could care less, because there's no need to it, right? All right, think of a wholesaling list, right? So I do a lot of direct mail and I do a lot of high equity. People with high equity, I think 98% of them should just go with a realtor. They don't need to deal with me. Houses are fine. It's the ugly ones, right? That's why I tell everyone, drive for dollars, look for the ugly ones, because 90% of the ugly ones I could probably wholesale. And I don't feel good in my mind trying to convince somebody to go without a realtor, because maybe they have second thoughts and maybe they regret it. I don't want people to have I want to go to bed at night knowing I did the right thing. And every single time I do a really big deal, it's always, I say, go with a realtor. I don't want to go with a realtor because of X, Y, and Z. And you have deals where you know this. You've had, and they're like, no, I don't want to deal with a realtor. Once I hear that, I'll go with them. Because if they want to deal with a realtor, then it's fine. I get the most for the house. Because they're going to give you like flack when you offer below what the thing is worth. And they're well, I want what it's worth, or I want the retail value. Go with the realtor. It's fine. The biggest problem I always have is when people don't with a realtor, but they want retail value. Like, you can't have the best of both worlds. Can't have your cake and eat it too. Some people want the cake, so give them the cake. Give them the realtor, right?
And one of the things that I'm running against is a lot of in our state, through probate, you have to get an appraisal. The administrator gets the appraisal done, and then
California.
I guess it can't. No, this is in Arkansas.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so and then by law they can't sell it below the appraisal unless there's some extenuating circumstances. So, is that something that you run across in Florida or wherever you're working?
No, that's mostly a California thing, and it's not even that bad. So that's one issue you can have. There's a couple ways you can go around that, right? But I would honestly say, because of those type of laws, I like the creative financing aspect a lot better. But one thing you could always do, and this is always something that there's skirts around this, but a probate can go to read the law. There's some places in aspect where the probate can just go to the person and then get sold right after. And then sometimes they'll null and void that type of law. So if Sarah Smith dies and Sally Smith Sue is the heir, the estate of Sarah Smith can't be sold for under the appraisal. But if it gets transferred to Sally Sue, now she's the owner. There's no probate anymore. I'm just the owner. Now I can sell it for whatever price I want.
Okay.
So I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to give you any law advice here, but there's a lot of ways to go around a lot of rules legally. Now, I'm not telling you to do anything illegal, but you got to do that. Or,
Zach told me.
No, I mean, have you ever seen The Sopranos?
Yeah.
You're not going to be like The Sopranos where the property appraiser's rigged and he's going to make it a lot lower than what it's worth. See, that's illegal, right? You go around that by just letting the probate go through sometimes. And then you can overpay an extra $4 or $5 grand to pay for someone's probate or whatever it says. But I just go around. That's the only way for some of these laws you have to go around it. But I want you to read the law specifically.
Oh, I have.
Yeah. And so go from there, ask a title company, and then I'll go from there. Because there's usually lawyers at the title company that'll tell you what you can and can't do.
Yeah. And I'm going to be setting up a meeting with the probate attorney so I can pick his brain and hopefully get a better understanding of some of this stuff.
Let them know you're going to send them a lot of clients.
Yeah, I am. There's a couple that I found through foreclosures that, no one even started the probate process on and kind of helped their people out. But I could have sent them to, this attorney right here. But yeah, one of the deals I'm working on is this crazy lady, man. And it's funny. She's in California. She sounds like she's a crackhead when talking to her on the phone, but she just wants to avoid the probate courts and all this stuff. And it sounds shady. Hey, just send me a check in the mail and I'll just virtually sign the deed over to you. It works like that, right? Yeah. Let me write that check right now.
I mean, you got to do the right thing. What you can always do is just let it go through the courts, but you can have the attorney kind of deal with that. And then once you build those good relationships, you can pay it at closing or out of your assignment fee. But with the specific law in Arkansas, I need to read up on it a little more. That my best way would just be circumventing it, asking a probate attorney how to do it the right way. But there's some more ninja tactics they can do that I probably don't know about. So I'll talk to them.
Dude, so when are you going to start a $10,000 mastermind that I can join up and we can chit chat, man?
None. I don't want any. I don't want your money, dude. Right? I make enough money.
Hey, man. Thank you guys for everything. Really appreciate you guys.
Of course. Talk to that probate attorney, though. And remember, probate attorneys, they care about people, but they care more about making money for themselves. So if you go in there saying, hey, like I got all these clients that I just want to not deal with it and I can't even help them out. How could I just give them to you? Just act really sweet and nice. And they're like, wow, this guy's helping. Let me help him out. You know, scratch each other's back.
Nice. Like it.
All right. Well, keep it up, dude. One other thing you can do too is figure out pretty fast on the probates how that works, and then start adding in extra government lists from there that you haven't been pulling yet. I'm a big, especially with you, what you're doing right now is you just need to test a lot of things out. Because I feel like you're missing out probably on 4 or 5 key lists that you probably have never done. 4 of them are going to suck, but one's going to be a new winner for you.
Yeah, I pulled the codes, and that one kind of was there was one good deal on there, but it was already sold to somebody else. And then water's been a pain in the ass a pain in the butt to the pool. Yeah, and there's a couple others I'm looking at as well. But I also deal heavy in foreclosures too, which I love the foreclosures. I've done a bunch of those back in the day.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, keep it up, dude. Let me know if you got any questions. Everyone's always invited on here to help and hop on and talk and help you out.
Good chatting, man. Take care.
All right. Have a good one, Phil.
Yep.
Oh, Phil's got a fun, I remember his first deal, and he's at 3, and he's just scaling up from there. So shout out to him. Justin.
What's going on, Zach?
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing good. So after weeks of just trying to pull the code violation, acting like a Karen, I finally was able to pull it here in my hometown. So I just been skip tracing that list, and I'm going to do my first in-person appointment like in about an hour.
All right.
The problem is that this house, I want to make sure like my numbers are right before I make any offer. If that makes sense. So the house, he did the appraisal, he just told me, and I guess the agent or whatever said 350,000. So when I'm running the comps or whatever, it's not even close. Like I'm hearing, I asked a wholesaler in my area, he was saying like, don't even give him more than 200. Don't even lock it up for more than 200. So I just want to make sure with you, like, if he's not, bullshitting me.
Oh, we won't now,
Well, would I be able to like give you the address or like
put it in the private chat? Hey,
yep.
Don't ever give a wholesaler your address before you lock it up.
Okay, got it.
It's a big no-no. Because I don't trust I don't trust anybody in my market besides my dad. He's pretty much the only one. All right. Like, dude, it is a very, very shady. A lot of competition is very shady. I hate to say it, but it's true. Like just so you know, when I do my live Zillow for sale by owner calls, every single time I get a price commitment, that seller gets 10 calls the next day. It sucks.
Wow.
But it's getting harder to get those deals. All right.
Did you get it?
Yeah, let me look at it. So what price are they at on the property?
They want 350.
Is this 8 bedrooms, it says?
Yeah, it's a duplex.
And how much do they want again?
They want 350. So they have a renter on the first floor, but he says once he gets it sold, he wants to live and rent in that house because I guess he had his kids were raised there. Also, his wife that had passed, they had bought the house together. So there's a lot of memories. So he wants.
You gotta get under 300 on this one. I think 300 would be good. I mean, dude, you have a comp. You have 2 very close comps here. So you have a really good comp here, dude. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's above 400 and it's across the street and it sold 3 months ago for a stupid price. So, I mean, dude, hold on. I mean, I hate to say this, dude, but actually, wait.
Not only that, the roof is about 15 years old. He says it needs a new paint job. Lead painting, he mentioned. Lead painting. Yeah.
I mean, bro, I'm probably saying I would like to be at 300 on this.
Oh, really? Other people have been saying I would not go more than 195, and I'm like, what? He's not gonna accept that.
I mean, I think it's good. I like it. I think just, dude, your comps are so high. I think I don't go above 300. I think, but I think it's a deal. I mean, just ask them how much they're at. So if they're at what, 350?
Yeah.
I've touched some partners, right? And they said not to go over 250 on this, but like, I know it needs a roof, but like, just see the reaction. I think 250 is too low though. I'm just, I think
told
your
them
MAO should be 300.
300.
That's my guess. Dude, the comps are all over the board.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a high 400s across the street, then you got one on the side there. It's up to you. I would just lowball him and get the lowest you possibly can. It's weird.
Yeah, I was thinking of hitting him with the like 175, and then his mouth's gonna drop like, no way. But he seemed like a very understanding guy. You know, he does need the money.
Say 200. 175 might be a little too much. Just say 200. Your partner's at 200. Do the good cop, bad cop.
Okay.
That's probably gonna be your best one.
Got it. Okay, I'll try that. And like for my first appointment, any tips? I didn't watch that video on freewholesaling.com. You probably have one already there. But anything to look out for? What am I?
Yeah, if you screw up, only one person's gonna know, and that's you, and then the other person, and then you're never gonna meet them ever again, and so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Right? Like, don't. Obviously, might be a little nervous, but like worst case scenario, he says, "Nope, I'm okay. I don't want to get that price. That's fine." Like, don't be too nervous over it. That's all I could tell you. Just be chill. You know what price you're at. You go from there.
Got you. Okay. And when he mentions, oh, but the realtor said 350, what can I say for that?
The realtor will tell you any price they want to get you to sign.
Okay, got it.
So if I think it was worth 350, I'd offer you 350. Right?
Yeah.
And they don't know about the roof and all these things. They're just looking to try to get the most for it. So that's all. If they want to go with the realtor, let them go with the realtor, but don't overthink it.
Yeah, because I wasn't expecting him to want to meet up today, so I'm like really just overthinking everything right now. But
did you condition him to get a yes or no decision?
I was gonna do that at the property.
All right, that's fine. Make sure you do it though.
No, I will. Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Well, tell me what it is. Do it to me.
All right, so we're gonna ask him.
Hello, hey Justin, come on in. Let's look at the property.
Yo, I go inside.
So here's the bedroom. Here's the kitchen. Here's the basement. So what price are you looking to sell it? What price are you looking to buy it for, Justin?
I'm gonna.
You see how I just ran over you and you weren't able to do it? Some people are like that, dude, and you won't be able to get that thing out, and then boom, we'll lose the deal.
I know. I gotta.
Right?
I gotta visualize.
I just ran over you.
You just ran over me.
You would have not known what to do. Can I tell you what to do?
Yes. Please.
All right. So if someone's running over you, don't tell me the seller's name, but I'll just call him Justin. All right, you. Hey, Justin. Hey, I can't wait to go see the property, but before we go see the property, I just want to make sure. Are you ready to make a yes or no decision on selling the property today? I just want to make sure you're serious about selling it. Yeah. I'm ready to make it. Okay, perfect. Show me around. That's it.
So that's even before I step into the home.
Yeah.
Ask him that. Okay.
Out the door.
Got it. What does that do, like, for him?
Well, let's go back here. Okay. Well, you're just asking. All right. Because if you give him 250, say you're at 200, he said, okay, Justin, well, I'll think about it. I'll get back to you next week. And then you never hear back from him. What are you going to do? What are you going to say?
What am I?
Okay, 200. I'll think about it, Justin.
Oh, I'm probably going to try to give him a higher offer, right?
Okay. What offer?
225.
Okay, Justin, appreciate it. Let me think about that. I'll get back to you next week.
Oh, so from there, I just stay completely.
What are you going to say after that?
Should I?
So you don't know what to say.
Yeah, I don't.
You know why? Because you didn't condition the seller.
Okay.
Bro, have you ever played tag as a kid?
Of course, I love that game.
You hate the kids when you play tag that just click pause, say pause before they
Oh,
tag you?
I hated those kids.
Here's the problem, dude. You give the offer, they're going to click pause on the appointment and say, all right, I'll see you next week. I'll unpause next week and I'll figure out from there. You're screwed. The point of conditioning is so they don't say, I'll think about it or maybe. Hey, Mr. Seller, remember when I asked you if you're ready to make a yes or no decision? Well, I sort of need one because I asked. I don't want to waste your time or my time. They can't say, well, I'll think about that offer.
Okay.
That makes sense?
It makes sense, yeah.
Justin, I would probably call the guy, or I like doing it over the phone because I get an extra layer of excuse on top of that. And what I mean by that is, hey, Mr. Seller, before I go and see the property, I know I'm going to see it now. I'm just letting you know. I'm going to be there whatever time. Before I go out there, I don't want to waste your time or my time. Are you ready to make a decision on selling the property today? I'm seeing a lot of properties. I just want to make sure I want to spend my time here. I'm not wasting it and wasting your valuable time.
Got it.
Once they say that and they give you the maybe after you give an offer, right, Mr. Seller, you said you're ready to make a decision. Boom. It's like pressing pause on the play tag. I hate it. So it'll help you out.
Got it. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely ask him that. I'll shoot him a call probably after I get off of this.
All right. Get going, man.
Got another question. So I got a probate lead today. Pretty cool. I actually spoke to the probate attorney. She said the house is in the heirs. What's that mean?
Arrears?
Heirs, like it's in the heirs right now.
Did she mean arrears?
I believe so. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said something like that, and she said she'd let me know. But my question is like, oh, I totally forgot. Oh, my question is like, will she? Oh man. Well, my question is, should I follow up with her? Like,
so she either mean one or two things, and you should probably know, but no big deal. Either they're in the arrears, which is ARREAS, which means they're behind on payments or on the mortgage. That's most likely what she means. Now, if they are in the heirs, that's weird because heirs is just the people that are getting the property, right? So if the dad died, the son or daughter or the wife or spouse gets the house. So those are the either way. So if they're behind on payments, that's a good wholesaling deal. It's the heirs. Just got to have them clarify it.
Got it. All right. Yeah, I didn't really quite understand her. She said she'd give me a call back.
Just tell her, hey, I don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about arrears or heirs, and just clarify it. Look up what arrears is. It's just behind on the amount you're owed or behind on a payment.
Okay. Got it. All right. I think I got everything. I think I'm ready.
All right.
All righty, my friend. Thank you so much.
All right. Good luck on the call, man. Get out. Have confidence. Remember, you and your partner are going to buy the house, so you have all the confidence in the world to go out here and get this contract. I believe in you, Justin.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You believe in yourself?
Of course, man.
Go after it, man.
Thank you.
All right. Boom! Shout out to Justin there. Going out here and actually on the appointments, taking action and getting great deals. Shout out to Justin there. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right. Yo.
Hey, Zach, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Hey, I missed the live yesterday. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Hey, I just got a quick question on the, so I've kind of been looking more into a virtual market rather than I'm over here in the Montana market.
Okay.
So hasn't been too exciting here, but I've been looking in the Toledo area, and I only have just one quick question. On the 70% rule on the FSBO list, do we include our assignment fee in there, or is the 70% just the max allowable offer?
You can probably put your assignment fee on. People like putting their assignment fee in it. Like if you're gonna make 1,000, you're gonna do the deal. If you make 50,000, you're putting the deal. So whatever you can below the MAO, just do it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that was the only question I had. I'm
right.
just getting out cold calling now. So I appreciate all the information. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it. Have a great one.
You too.
Boom. All right. Next, we got Migs.
Big Z, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Just started cold calling yesterday, actually, and I got a couple of not interested. And actually, there's one guy that told me his property was in a lawsuit. Could I have elaborated more? What is it about? Or
I mean, if he wants,
it's a civil lawsuit, but he just
he probably doesn't
took
want to
the
sell the
phone
house
down on.
for lawsuits over. That's probably what his lawyer's telling him, which probably is smart.
So just don't follow up on him, probably.
Follow up, but just I'd probably follow up in like a month.
Okay. Got it. And I have a couple questions actually. So I got the code violations through email from the county, and you only focus on open ones, right? The closed ones you don't.
Yeah.
And then they gave me everything. So violation description, there's like abandoned vehicle, more than that, like parties without permits. But you just go by which ones usually.
So do you have it in an Excel format?
They gave me to me in a PDF file.
Yeah, that stinks. Okay. I'll figure out a way. There's a lot of softwares out here that'll convert a PDF into like just Word documents, or like you can just copy and paste them. So I would probably see if you're able to copy it and put it into Excel and then filter out from there.
Okay. Do you focus on dumped like vehicles too, or like partying
No.
without permits? Oh, okay.
I skip those. I like tall grass. I like structural damage, mold, mildew. Those are the main three ones that are the best.
Yeah, I saw a mold one. Okay, cool.
Anything that has to do with the property being ugly, it works out. A car, could care less.
Okay. And then I went to my local REI meet. It was my first meetup last Saturday, and most of the cash buyers there use hard money or like conventional loan. Is that some cash buyers that you focus on, or?
That's some cash. I don't like focusing on those buyers. I'd probably find another one because those buyers are usually there for wholesaling too. So the for rents, right? And then look for house flippers on Facebook groups, and then house flippers on the cash sales.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. And then yesterday I saw some leads with let's say the house price is like 800, the mortgage is like 450, and the equity is 400. Is there a deal there if the mortgage is higher than the equity, or?
If the mortgage is higher than the equity, probably not going to be a deal. It could be a creative financing deal, but probably not a wholesaling deal.
Got it. And then I saw a couple with trust ownerships. Is that something that we go for, or like it's in a trust, like it says
Yeah,
corporation?
I
and
can
then
wholesale deals from trust. Usually when it's older people, it's Florida thing. So it's pretty easy for me. I wholesale a lot of properties that are in trusts.
Oh, it's the same process.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I mean, the trust is the seller, but you have whoever's the trustee to sign it. So who's in charge of the
Got it.
trust?
Because when I look at trust ownerships here in my county, it's like they have a lot of properties, like 5 properties in a trust, I think, something like that.
We got to figure it out.
Got it. And then the last question with the probates earlier, you mentioned to Justin that you have to, because I'm in California, you have to wait for the transfer to be to the heirs. So I need to wait for the probate to be finished on the court in California, basically. Or?
I would talk to a probate attorney or the title company, then give you the exact law there. But
Got
usually
it.
that's the case.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. I'm gonna call again. Skip the code violations, and yeah, thank you so much, Zach. Big Z. Thank you.
Keep it up, bro. Thank you. Boom. All right. Next here we got. Yo.
Yo,
What's up?
what's going on?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks. Well, first of all, I want to say I appreciate what you do. I've been following you guys a long time. Before that, I was following, I can't remember his name. Was it like
I could care
Paul?
less who.
Yeah, um, but he was also a guy. The question that I have is sometimes, well, I was looking for a couple of properties. I haven't made a call yet. One property I called back in like a couple months ago, and out of at that time I had no information till now, called and she said she wanted 800,000, for the property. I'm like, I couldn't say anything, so I said, okay, let me talk to my partner and just hang up. And I didn't hang out. I said, okay, I'll call you back. The property itself is, I did run the comps right now, probably yesterday. I have a bachelor's in PropStream, and it did comes up. I listened to your dad's also of the repairs. The rule, 70% rule. He said that sometimes it doesn't work. So, and I did come up with the lowest level offer, which was 135, and the ARV was around 409. I could only find one comp that came up. That's it.
So you found the ARV is
So you,
400 and your MAO is going to
yeah.
be 190.
uh, least allowable offer, I came up with 135.
What's the repairs?
It needs full repair.
How
Full.
much?
Uh, hold on. I did was following your
What was the number?
give me a sec.
All right.
Uh,
Well, you knew the one number or
uh,
the other number well. So what's the? Do you know the repairs?
yeah, it needs a full heavy repairs. So it's probably
Heavy
either it's
thousand
gonna
or heavy teen?
no heavy, which means like full reconstruction, probably the house, or if it needs to be
You
torn
give me
down.
words. I need a number.
Uh, Probably 65,000 as the
65,000. So
yeah
how did you go from 400 minus 65,000? So
yeah
335. So
uh and then I divide that by two, which is the half of the
all right, I'm just
offer
going to tell
that
you, you should go to freelisting.com and figure out what the formula is because you're not doing it right.
okay
Okay.
okay
Have you have you
yeah,
done
go
any
ahead.
wholesaling deals?
Well, I'm trying to.
So
That's
if you haven't gone
why.
any wholesaling deals, most likely your biggest issue right now is your offers are way too low.
Okay.
Somebody's putting in your head that you have to do 50% of what the thing is worth to get a deal when the property's worth over 400,000.
Okay.
And you gotta get all this bad information out of your head and get the good information at freelisting.com.
No, no. I was actually listening to your dad yesterday on the
Do you want me
on
to
the.
call him? I will call him and ask him if he told you guys do ARV minus repairs divided by 2. Are you
No, no,
telling
no.
me
What?
is that what he said?
No, no, no. Divide by two. What I mean, the least allowable offer. That's what I meant. And from there, we're gonna
Your
go.
LAO.
Yeah, LAO. Sorry, least
I don't
allowable
think he said
offer.
LAO it's 50%, but it's probably going to be 40 or 50 below the MAO or 60.
Okay. MAO just
Let's do the numbers
uh
together really quick. 400
area for 9
minus
minus
65. I'm
65.
23. 278 is going to be the MAO.
Hmm.
I mean, dude.
And I divide that by half also, which is that's how I came out to 135. But probably I know.
Usually, yeah, you can't at numbers this big, you can't be multiplying by 50%. It just doesn't work.
No,
You're
I divide by actually 50%. I did not
okay.
multiply that.
Let me ask you
That's
one
my was
question.
yeah.
Do you realistically think you're going to make $143,000 on the assignment?
No, but
No.
that's what I thought. Just
That
leaves a
will
lot.
be the biggest assignment I think anybody's ever done
Okay.
on a single family property. That will beat my record
All
by I
right.
think $30,000. I'll give you the crown.
Okay.
Okay? That ain't gonna happen, dude. You will definitely offend the seller at that point.
Oh,
Okay, man?
and I figured
You gotta
not.
be a little better with it.
Okay.
I think your LAO should at most be 60 or 70,000 minus off your MAO. 200 would
Okay.
be the least I'd ever offer.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Should I do? Because I guess I was overthinking it. So for
Yeah,
one,
you
I
were
couldn't find only
$65,000 off.
yeah, and because it needed heavy repairs, like house. I did actually saw the house myself, so it's like boarded down. You know, either it needs to be teared down or it needs heavy repairs.
Why don't we do this?
Hmm.
Why don't you on your LAO do 20% below your MAO? Make that your LAO, okay? And then we don't have to have
Okay.
this problem anymore. You're doing 50,
Cool.
do 20. All right?
Go.
Do no 0.8.
Yeah. All right.
All right?
And my second question is like for I don't know if you know me. For some reason, I'm actually kind of banned from the group, or I don't know why. You know why? Yeah.
I'll
I
go.
have.
I'll talk to
Yeah,
my customer support department.
yeah, because
I'm
for
just kidding.
whatever
I don't
reason,
have
I
one, dude.
can. Yeah,
You're either banned from
it's
the group
you.
for 3 things: you promoted a guru, you bullied somebody, or you spam something.
Well,
It's
that's
pretty
the thing
simple.
I never did. That's the thing I never did. Actually,
Okay. Well,
I posted some stuff to ask in the group, and my post didn't went through. And then I actually tried to message you saying that, did you know why? And then for some reason, I couldn't comment it anymore till like December 17th or something
so
like
you didn't
that.
get banned. You just got suspended.
Yeah, why did I
Why did you
suspend
say
it?
you got banned though, dude? Why did you lie?
I thought, well,
You said you
that's
got
what I thought
banned.
I got.
You didn't get banned. You got suspended. Probably because you were spamming, dude. If
No,
you
I was
spam the
not.
same comment like 50 times, then we're just going to stop you from commenting for like a month so you chill out.
Oh, okay. No,
Nobody
like
wants to be in a group with the guy that's spamming, dude.
I was not spamming. I was actually asking the same question I was asked you like a month ago. I typed it.
Oh, lost connection. Oh, I hate when that happens. It's the worst. All right. Fred, what is up?
Zach, how you doing?
Bro, where's the cat? Or the dog?
That was a cat. It was a hairless cat.
Where's the cat?
She was crying, so I had to let her out.
Dang it.
Do you remember me, Zach? I spoke to you a few months
Yeah.
ago.
You're wholesaling from London?
Jack, you got a phenomenal memory, mate. Phenomenal memory, as your dad says. Listen, I won't waste your time, Zach. I'll be honest with you. I've been inactive for the past few months. Right. I just wanted to jump on very, very quickly. Just ask you a couple of quick things. Right.
I like it.
Right now, I want to focus on for sale by owner. All right. I know that you can't sort of, put it out categorically. This is the best place to attack, but I understand that the market's changing. I'm apprehensive to sort of take that, sort of blanket approach. I was just trying to speak to as many people as possible. I don't know if you remember, I spoke to someone in New York and you said it was an attorney state and bloody blah. And I sort of took my attention away from that. Mate, I just want to start getting some deals under my belt. All right. I've got my phone right next to me. I'm ready to fucking ring it and do as much as possible. Is there any real brief tips you can give me? Because I try to watch a lot of stuff, Zach, but there's so much.
All right, you're overcomplicating it.
I am.
Let's just play a game. All right. Let's do cities in the Southeast that are named after English cities. All right. Let's do that. All right. Birmingham's a good one, so let's just do that one. All right.
All right.
Try it.
Try it. All right. I'll tell you what I'll do is so if I go for sale by owner, Birmingham, would it may be wise for me to look at 3-bed, 2-bathroom within a sort of about 1,500 square feet?
That's okay. You're overcomplicating it because you're overlooking it. Honestly, between you and me, if the population of the city or county is over 100,000 people, all you got to do is, and then if the average property is worth under 300,000, that's a good place to be wholesaling.
Okay.
Anywhere in the whole country.
Okay.
Those are my 2 simple rules.
All right.
Population over 100,000 and the average property is worth under 300. So all I got to do is so let me just show you really quick. So I'm searching Birmingham, Alabama median home price, Zillow.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I go there, so let me share my screen so you can see what I do. So this is just how I figure it out.
Excellent.
So I click here. The average house in Birmingham, Alabama is 112,000.
Sure.
Boom.
Bang.
That's it. And then population, 197. Boom.
Jobs are good.
That's it. That is literally my only rule.
Okay. All right. So between now and tomorrow, my plan is to ring every for sale by owner lead that's on there. That coincides obviously with. I mean, as far as bedrooms and bathrooms? Do you think I need to focus on the specifics, or because I was listening to something you were saying that rather than I mean buyers are being more picky as far as what they're looking at, and that the market was favorable to people and they was making bad deals and still making money, whereas now it's kind of evolving. The landscape has changed, so I don't want to bring bad deals to potential buyers and sort of lose credibility. So
This is easy.
Talk
So
to
I have
me.
a formula.
All right.
So I like going after Zillow for sale by owners when they've been listed for over 100 days.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh my gosh, I just this thing's been listed. I just gotta get rid of this thing, right?
Immediately. Yeah.
No one's really even contacting them anymore. That's why I like those.
Okay.
Now, the best thing you can do here is I have a very simple rule. Just offer 70% of the listing price.
Sure.
That's on Zillow's only. That
Sure.
will almost guarantee it's going to be a decent deal for a cash buyer.
Okay. All right. All right.
Boom.
Well, listen, enough said. My plan from now until tomorrow is to speak to as many people as possible. Birmingham, Alabama. As I said, make an offer of 70% of the listing price, and any action that I get, I'm going to bring to you, and hopefully have a conversation, and you can advise me further.
Dude, that's perfect, man.
Well, mate, I appreciate your time, Zach. Honestly.
All right. Well, keep it going, man. What do we got here? You got Oxford, Mississippi, Charleston. Yeah, those are the British names you're going to go after. All right, let's go after those three. All right. I don't know. I'm just trying to help you out. All right. Keep
All
it
the
up.
best to you and your dad, man. I appreciate everything that you do.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good one, Fred.
I'll speak to you very soon. Don't forget
All
my
right.
face.
Sounds
See
good.
you later, buddy.
Boom. All right, we'll do one more. We got Nick.
Awesome. Great. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What is up?
Wonderful. I know you're short on time. So I've got three really quick, short questions. So first of all, the weird thing about the Nebraska market is prices seem to be going up across the state, even though there's nothing here, and across the nation, they seem to be going down. So how do and they're also very kind of skittish about wholesalers. So how do I kind of cozy up to the agents and others in the local market to kind of ask them for their cash buyers list to kind of form a relationship? I'm not really a people person.
I know. I remember talking to you, dude.
So I'm wonderful on camera. I love to talk. My problem is sometimes I don't know when to be quiet and listen. So, and I don't want to ask the wrong questions to these people and get, I don't want to burn bridges without knowing that I'm doing it and alienate people. So I'm kind of anxious about, how do I talk to people who work for the title company? How do I talk to the agents? Because I'm not looking to work for them, but at the same time, I kind of need to know what they know.
Yeah. You're overcomplicating this, man. You're in central Nebraska, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I remember this. All right. So I think from a past conversation, we kind of talked about this, that Nebraska is pretty much two cities. Pretty much. Like that's the whole economy there. So you're far from both of them, right?
Yeah, I'm like middle of Nebraska is about, I'm about 200 miles from Omaha, about 175 from Lincoln.
So your local market's going to be really tough. And so I always said 50-50 because you're just in a very tough market. There's just like not enough population. There's going to be not a lot of deals there. There's going to be some. So you're just trying to see, can I reach out to realtors, anything like that? Your market's already small enough where it's going to be a
and the thing of it is what and I'm sorry to interrupt, but one of the things I'm finding is there's lots of deals happening. There's lots of money being passed around, but it seems to be these big corporations that are buying up everything. And another issue I'm having even with the lists here, I've gone to find a couple of lists and there's either not just that much out there or they're not public record because whatever local city government has decided that these are private lists and not going to be accessible to anybody really. For example, the probate list, I did have one, little old lady bureaucrat, God love her. I asked about the probate, finding probate lists. She told me just pick the nearest 5 cities and then just start, looking at the papers online, and then just like looking at the obituaries just every day. Look at the obituaries for, Grand Island and Kearney and all these different places. And it's like, okay, well, that'll work. But, you know, it's like, even with PropStream, it's like I'm just not finding, you know, I'm not finding the 1,000 people that I need to call to find a couple of deals.
Yeah, because your market's
I
very
probably
tiny.
do need to start doing the virtual thing.
You're going to probably do the virtual thing. You can slap all these bureaucrats with the Freedom of Information Act, because they can be in their own local government telling you what they think, but they are not king or queen, right?
Okay.
We have Congress, and Congress says you have a freedom of this information. Freedom of Information Act. You can file it. Now, by law, they have to do it, or you can sue them for 10, 15 grand for denying your civil liberties, right?
Okay.
That's like, there's a law in place that, like, local government said you're not allowed to vote. Well, the Constitution says I can.
Yeah.
And guess who wins that one? Constitution also did the Freedom of Information Act, so you have freedom for it. So you can file it with the old lady. She's going to talk to her boss. They're going to talk to a lawyer, and the lawyer's like, well, yeah, that is kind of the law. We have to give it to Nick. So I do the 50-50 approach, man. I wouldn't deal with the realtors, dude. I'd still do the off market. There's not a lot of lists to be doing.
Yeah.
So I would probably do as many as you can, and then do 50% of the time doing something virtual.
Yeah. And I am going to definitely start spending a lot more time doing the driving for dollars and the reverse driving for dollars, because I've got I finally convinced my mother to believe in me, so she's going to be happy to help out with gas so I can do the driving for dollars. Cool. So that's a good thing. And I would encourage your other viewers, get people who believe in you to actually kind of chip in, because I mean, if I make $20,000 this month, huh?
I think for most people, they don't really need that, because you can wholesale no money.
In such a sucky market, it's like, what the heck,
Well, it's up to you. It's sucky to you. It's an amazing market for me.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, it's an amazing market because now people are finally wanting to sell their property. So it's really how you look at it, right? Like I always say, people look at rain and they look at it as the worst thing in the world, right? Oh, it's terrible. It's a sad day. And then you got the farmer who needs to water during a drought, that it's the greatest thing in the world. It's how you look at things, man.
Yeah. So I probably need to just like slightly change my tactics, and then, not overcomplicate it. But
yeah, keep it simple, man.
And because I am worried, I really do thank you for your time, and I hope that I'm not asking stupid questions, because I am.
You're not asking stupid questions, but you're overcomplicating it, and your mindset's wrong with this market. It's a great market, man.
Okay.
You just got to be in the right one. So start looking for markets, bro.
Okay, awesome. You have a great day.
All right, have a great one. All right, guys. So make sure you actually go out here and start taking action, guys. This is an amazing market. I think so many wholesalers get this really confused. They think that this market is terrible. It's the worst thing in the world. And the honest truth is, it's what you make it. Life is what you make it. And if you look at life in a great lens and actually really for what it is, it's an amazing gift. And this market's an amazing gift. You have a lot of sellers having problems, and they're needing them solved. So go out here, solve those problems, and you'll get after it, guys. This is Zach Ginn signing out. We'll be with Rick tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in, and I'll see you guys soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out.